Imagine the sun-scorched harbor of Mallorca in the Balearic Islands, May 13th, 48. Dawn lights the turquoise waters as a Genoese galley from Cagliari drops anchor, its crew raving with fever, bodies swelling grotesquely. Dockworkers haul aboard crates teeming with rats. Within a week, boils erupt across the island, pus bursting like overripe figs. The air chokes with incense from frantic priests and the stench of hasty pyres. Panic seizes this Mediterranean crossroads. This is the Black Death invading Spain, La Peste Negra, a scourge that will ravage the Iberian Peninsula, claiming millions and shaking kingdoms to their core. How did it leap from Italian shores to fracture Spain's golden age? Journey with us through the terror. The Iberian Peninsula in 1348 pulses with ambition and tension. Divided into Christian realms, Castile and Leon in the center under Alfonso XI, the warrior king. Aragon, Catalonia to the east, ruled by the shrewd Pedro IV el Ceremonioso. Portugal carving independence westward, and the Muslim Emirate of Granada hugging the south. The Reconquista marches on. Christians reclaim land from Moors century by century, fresh from Alfonso XI's 1340 victory at Rio Salado, crushing Marinid invaders from Morocco. Castile boasts 5 million souls, its wool trade booming from merino sheep to Flemish looms via Burgos fairs. Seville thrives as Atlantic Gateway, Barcelona as Mediterranean hub, linking Genoa, Venice, and the Levant. Society stratifies rigidly. Nobles joust in Toledo tourneys, hidalgos farm olive groves, mudejares and moriscos toil under mud walls. Cities swell unsustainably. Seville packs 100,000 into labyrinthine calles, filth clogging gutters, black rats nesting in cellars. Hygiene lags. Public bathhouses fade since leprosy scares. Physicians trained in Salerno blend Galen with Arabic texts from Averroes, prescribing laxatives and astrological purges. Trade accelerates doom. Genoese and Catalan galleys ferry grain, cloth, spices along Ruta de la Seda extensions, unwittingly importing Yersinia pestis. Famine echoes from 1340 rains. Little Ice Age chills vineyards. The plague simmers eastward, hurled by Mongol catapults at Kaffa in 1346, then seaborne to Sardinia by spring 1348. Sardinian ships hug coasts to Mallorca, bearing invisible doom. May 1348. The infected galley docks in Palma de Mallorca. Island chronicles record 5,000 dead in weeks, half the population. Victims claw buboes in groins and necks, spitting bloody froth from pneumonic lungs. King Pedro IV orders quarantine, but winds carry it to Ibiza and Menorca. By June, it leaps to Barcelona, Aragon's proud capital of 40,000. Pedro IV, from his palace, notes in royal letters, "The mortality is so great that scarcely 1 in 10 remains." Ships to Valencia spread it south. The Valencian port, rice and silk entrepot, buries 20,000 by August. Tarragona's cathedral fills with corpses. Montserrat monks chant amid dying pilgrims. Overland trails fan the flames. From Catalonia, mule trains haul the plague to Zaragoza. Pedro IV's court scatters to rural castles. By September 1348, it crosses the Ebro into Castile, striking Lerida, then Daroca. Toledo, imperial city with 50,000, convulses. Jews in the Juderia accused of well poisoning, synagogues sacked. Seville receives it via Guadalquivir galleys from Cadiz, fall 1348. Chronicler López de Ayala describes streets full of dead bodies without anyone to bury them. Córdoba's Mesquita echoes with wails. Granada's Moors, isolated somewhat by Sierra Nevada, still lose thousands to fleeing refugees. Portugal catches it in Lisbon by Christmas, King Alfonso IV fleeing to Coimbra. 1349 brings escalation. Barcelona peaks, mass graves at Montjuic swallow thousands daily, ox carts groaning under stacked limbs. Pedro IV imposes strict edicts, travel bans, bonfires of goods, but fleas laugh at decrees. In Castile, Alfonso XI besieges Gibraltar against Granadans and Marinids, his army melting from plague. Valencia's riots erupt, looters target granaries, flagellants whip through mercados, drawing crowds with self-inflicted blood. Southern ports like Algeciras funnel it to Murcia. Even remote Galicia sees villages hollowed. Trade halts. Wool bales rot in Burgos warehouses. Genoese factors die in fondacos. Priests adapt grimly. In Santiago de Compostela, pilgrims abandon the Camino, shells clattering empty on stones. Seville's Alcázar witnesses nobles fleeing to cortijos, leaving peones to rot. Anti-Jewish fury boils. Barcelona's pogrom, June 1348, kills dozens. Toledo burns 400 synagogues. Confessions tortured from rabbis claim poison powders in fountains, echoing Basel horrors. Pedro IV protects some Jews for taxes, but mobs prevail. Medicine falters. Montpellier alumni in Barcelona lance buboes, apply pigeon poultices, to no avail. The climax crashes in 1349-1350. Castile shatters at Gibraltar, March 26, 1350. Alfonso XI, 37, charges Moors valiantly, but succumbs mid-siege. First European king felled by plague. His bastard son besieges the corpse for ransom. Troops dissolve in fever. Seville hits nadir. Contemporary accounts tally 200 dying daily. Pestilencia emptying barrios. Bodies float in the Guadalquivir. Dogs feast on streets. Barcelona loses 60%, Valencia 50,000 of 75,000. Feel the hush over Iberian hills. Farmsteads silent, vines untended, church bells stilled by dead ringers. In Zaragoza, Pedro IV mourns, our realms are depopulated. Mortality claims 30 to 50% peninsula-wide, 1 to 2 million Spanish dead. Society teeters, serfs vanish, lords beg jornaleros at soaring wages. Is it Allah's wrath, as Granadans whisper, or God's scourge for lujuria, as Dominican friars thunder? The pestilence recedes by 1351, winters culling rats, survivors immune. Pedro IV reconvenes Cortes in Zaragoza, legislating against wage hikes. Recurrences strike. 1361, Peste de los Niños spares adults. 1371 ravages Andalusia. Demography rebounds slowly, but scars endure. Labor flight empowers labradores, Castile's fueros erode, Mesta sheep guild rises on depopulated pastures. Wool exports surge, funding artillery for Reconquista revival. Seville's Atlantic pivot accelerates, birthing carrack fleets towards Africa, seeds of empire. Pogroms accelerate Jewish conversions, conversos swell cities, fueling later Inquisition. Economy transforms. Barcelona's Consolat de Mar standardizes quarantines, 40-day cuarentena law. Art reflects danse macabre. Frescoes in Tarragona cloisters mock kings and beggars alike. Chronicles flourish. Ayala's history immortalizes Alfonso's fall. Pedro IV's letters offer raw testament. Plague pauses Reconquista. Granada endures another century, but births resilient Spain. Demographic shakeout spurs tech, like windmills in La Mancha. DNA from Barcelona's El Raval pits confirms Yersinia pestis, bubonic core.
Iberian experience mirrors Europe, yet uniquely scars. From Reconquista zeal to inquisitorial fervor, La Negra forges national character. Boccaccio's tales echo in Spanish picaresca, survivors' cunning enduring. As Ayala reflects, death levels all estates. Spain rises phoenix-like, gaze fixed on oceans ahead. Vigilance against ancient foes remains our shield, history's lessons etched in bone pits. The Black Death remade Nuestra España forever.